Roll for Crit is here to help you start your week off right. We've got all the newest board game and RPG and card game and all the rest releases for the week of February 24th, 2020.
Cabo Deluxe Edition is coming from Bezier Games. This is a new version of Cabo, which Bezier actually re-implemented in Silver and Silver Bullet. This actually reduces the player count from the original version from 2 to 5 to 2 to 4, and adds some new tweaks, especially with the scoring and how some other small rules work. We've got Catacombs Cubes and Cubes Monuments. This is set in the Catacomb universe, but instead you are now drafting these Tetris-like shapes to build buildings from blueprints you have. Whoever builds the most structures wins, and if you need more than 4 players, Monuments adds the 5th and 6th player. The Chrono system, which had Naruto and Godzilla, is now adding the Evangelion series to their card game. There are 2 new boxes. Each one allows for 2 players to play against each other, but add all 4, you can have a 4-player battle royale. We have Imperial Settlers, Empires of the North, now adding the Romans. The Romans, of course, were an original group in Imperial Settlers, but they're only now joining the Empires of the North series. This adds, of course, 2 new sets, as well as some new islands. And of course, the Romans have their own tricks up their sleeves, including changing some of your locations into bigger, better Roman monuments. In the Hall of the Mountain King was a Kickstarter, but is now available for retail. This is not about dwarves, but trolls. You are returning to your ancient mountain kingdom, which has been left in ruins, and you're trying to rebuild it. You will work on the same board, but this is competitive, rebuilding tunnels, trying to collect statues and build them back up to honor your ancestors. It also has a unique system using your workers where you set them in a pyramid style. When you activate a worker above them, it will trickle down and trigger all the workers below them as well.
Labyrinth, the beloved Jim Henson movie, is now getting a role-playing game. It's Labyrinth, the adventure game. This is one in which you'll be exploring the world of Labyrinth, progressing through different scenes, guided by the Goblin King. You can play it with any RPG rule set that you want, or just buy this one book, and it does play standalone with its own rules. Lords of Hellas is an area control Greek-themed game from Awaken Realms. There are now multiple new expansions that are available for retail release. These add new monuments, such as Atlas and more Greek mythological characters, as well as the components for a 5th and 6th player, depending on which of the ones you decide to pick up. Teoitihuacan has a new expansion, Shadow of Xitle. This adds some new technologies as well as starting tiles to this classic Euro-style game, so that you can mix things up a little bit. Every time you play, there's going to be some more variation in what types of technologies and tiles are available to go for. Change up your strategy every time. Tiny Towns also has an expansion. This one is called Fortune. This is a city building game in which you are getting resources and exchanging them for different buildings and different patterns. Now you have money. So certain buildings and other things will generate coins for you. You can use those coins to get the resources you may not have been able to get otherwise. They're also worth points at the end of the game if you hold on to them. Unlock Timeless Adventures is a brand new set of 3 individual escape rooms from the Unlock series, all themed around different time periods. One of them is an old-fashioned circus, one of them is 1920s Paris, it's a heist-themed adventure, and one of them has to do with time travel itself. You get to go around in a time machine. So some new exciting adventures there if you like that style of escape room. And then finally there's Zona, The Secret of Chernobyl, which is a cooperative adventure game, super thematic. You are exploring and trying to get to the sarcophagus of Chernobyl, but you are on a timer. You have to work together, experience events with your friends, and solve the secrets in time so you can get there before it's too late.
Now, when you say sarcophagus of Chernobyl, we're talking about the radioactive...
We're talking about radioactive, real Chernobyl.
Okay.
So it seems like kind of a Fallout-ish theme, but in more real world.
I'm always down for radiation.
Yeah, and again, like very definitely on the Ameritrash side, like you're working together,
I mean, just the way you described it, you're like the mystery of. I mean, I feel like that's not usually described in Euro games.
Yeah, they describe it as like an adventure game. Yeah, but on the other hand, we do have some Euro stuff in there.
Yeah, that's true.
There's the Teoitihuacan.
The unlock thing is very interesting. They've been doing it recently where they've grouped them in sets of 3 now. Part of me doesn't like it, but I think that's more because I bought some of the singles and it's like, oh, that triple one now, I already have like one of them, so I lose a third of its value.
I guess they realize that people who are still buying them at this point, they just want more. Whereas I guess if you are new to it, you have those smaller ones. But there is something, kind of nice about just like, let me just spend 10, 15 bucks just to get a little one as opposed to getting all three. But I guess it's just working for them that way. It'd be nice if they sold them both ways, which maybe resellers do.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I don't know if they officially do that or not. The Labyrinth game, I think, sounds maybe potentially cool. That seems like a very basic, like good for people who have never played an RPG before. Like if you go to the website, they explain what an RPG is. It's that kind of thing. I know, I'm sure you're excited about Evangelion. Maybe.
I mean, the TV show is a major milestone in my life, as well as Godzilla, which they also made a card game for. I actually have the Godzilla set. I haven't had the chance to play it. So I am gonna, before I buy 2 more boxes, I should play the Godzilla one and see how I feel first.
Yeah, that's probably a good plan.
As much as I love the series, and I don't think they've had maybe one other weird card game in packs beforehand. I don't think it's one of those things. A lot of things I like aren't in board games. Maybe
hard.
for good reason.
It's a struggle. Yeah.
But the Imperialist Settlers, the Romans sound pretty cool.
Roman banners, that's cool. I still haven't even played with all the ones in the base set, to be honest. So I'm like, all right, I'm not ready for all that. But they're not wasting any time. They're going at a good clip releasing those.
I really love the idea also of the coins in Tiny Town. I definitely want to try and mess around with that because I think that fixes some of those issues where you're just like, I can't get what I want.
Yeah, it sounds like a nice extra layer to put onto it of strategy. A lot of good stuff this week, honestly. It's a pretty good week. Last week we didn't really even have any releases. I think it was President's Day. I think
it was a combination of both. We looked, we're just like, there's nothing for us to, maybe 1 or 2 things, and I don't think it was, we felt like, we'll skip the day. Plus, you were still, on the mend.
I was feeling ill, but we came back strong this week. Let us know in the comments, what are you looking at? Are you adding some new expansions to your collection? Something like Lords of Hellas, or maybe some of these you already had backed and are receiving now or have recently? Or are you going for one of these new games or a new version of an old game? I don't know. Talk to us in the comments section. It'd be good to hear from you. Till next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Will.
This has been Roll for Crit.
Never miss out by liking and subscribing, and you can also check out more on our Patreon.
We do weekly podcasts on Patreon. Don't you want to sign up and hear more of our voices?